Good morning. Joining us now, Tom Fitton, the president of Judicial Watch. Tom, thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
We need to obviously discuss impeachment. Yesterday, Nancy Pelosi had a lot to say when she was asked about the impeachment proceedings. Here's Nancy defining the slate to get your reaction to it.
Right, and that is in the Constitution attached to the impeachment proceedings. The bribe is to grant or withhold military assistance in return for a public statement of a fake investigation into the elections. That's bribery. Yes. I don't know about that. We don't even haven't made a decision to impeach. That's what the inquiry is about. And when the committees decide that, then they will decide what the articles are. But I am saying that what is the president has admitted to and says it's perfect, I said it's perfectly wrong.
All right. So, Tom, is she right? It's no longer quid pro quo. It is now bribery and cover-up.
Well, it isn't even bribery under any standard definition of it. What she's talking about is politics. Government officials deciding or using government money to try to get an achieved public policy outcome. And it's obviously necessary in foreign policy. Joe Biden admits to doing exactly what she said is alleged bribery, which is, I'm not giving you $1 billion in aid until you fire this prosecutor, who coincidentally happens to be investigating my son's board. Of course, he didn't actually say that. I don't want to be Adam Schiff here. But that's what Joe Biden did. So should he be impeached too?
Right. Don't you think, like, the Democrats are making a tactical mistake by using the word bribery in the sense that they are now overcharging the president? So, like, where they were first saying, wow, I can't believe that he would exchange anything for anything. Now, if they're using the word bribery, voters are going to look at this and be like, bribery? Wait, using taxpayer dollars to get a country to behave, to do something with foreign aid? That's what we do with every country who gets foreign aid.
But this is an indication that they are failing. The quid pro quo wasn't working. They had a hearing where their big witnesses came in, and it consisted of bureaucrats complaining around the water cooler about what the boss is doing. That's not the basis for impeachment, obviously. They're realizing, I think, that Schiff has been lying to them about Donald Trump. He never had anything on him. And now, as I've said before, the Democrats have been throwing lateral passes down the, as they run down the field to try to remove Trump, anything that can work. And it's not working. Lateral passes are kind of fun to watch for a little bit, but they usually fail after.
It's a good opportunity to fumble, actually.
Yeah, that's right. And the coup is failing. And what are they going to follow up with today? An ambassador who was removed rightly by President Trump, an Obama-era holdover, who is going to come in and complain that she was removed, but who has nothing to add about the specific circumstances, which is supposedly under investigation, whether or not he bribed anyone in Ukraine. This is absurdity and an abuse, but it really shows you how low rent and how weak tea this impeachment effort is. It's a big failure. I used to think, guys, they were going to impeach him. It didn't matter what the evidence was, but I don't think that's the case anymore. I think they're going to start losing Democrat votes.
Well, with Marie Yovanovitch, the former ambassador who's coming in today to testify, the Republicans, we now know, are going to concentrate on the Ukraine because of the disparity, the discrepancies in the statements that have been made. We now know that she has been accused. One of the reasons she was removed was because she was accused of meddling in the Ukrainian elections with public statements that she made about wanting people removed. That's going to come up today. Does Adam Schiff allow that, or does Adam Schiff pull we're only talking about the president's phone call card?
Well, that's a good question. So you've got allegations of that against her. Other allegations are she hated President Trump. Judicial Watch reporting shows that she was directing and her staff was pursuing what was believed to be illegal monitoring of the Trump world people, his son, Rudy Giuliani, a whole host of Fox News hosts, and other journalists, because obviously, and her testimony indicates this, they were nervous about what they were saying about her in Ukraine. She says it wasn't illegal, she didn't have a specific list. Well, we do know there was a list, and we do know, based on our reporting, that the State Department told them to stop it because it is illegal. You can't have government officials just pointing out, hey, I want to know what Mary is writing on her social media platforms, so let's keep a file on it. It's illegal. It's a violation of the Privacy Act. I hope they get into that with her.
Tom, does the president need a justification to fire an ambassador?
No. And an ambassador, especially if he has no confidence in her, and she obviously doesn't like him and disagrees with his policy, she should have resigned.
Right. It's just like, but even if he was fed lies about her, let's like even grant that. If he fires her, that's in his purview.
It's in his purview to ask the Ukrainians to figure out how they're going to cooperate with our Justice Department and start fessing up on their corruption. And it's perfectly legal for the president to make sure the ambassador that's representing the United States shares his values. After all, he's the one elected president, not these nattering nabobs out there complaining about his policy. It's water cooler talk elevated to an impeachment crusade. It's absurd.